Hello everyone, welcome to Raw Online. This topic is on intraoperative neurophysiological monitoring and anesthetic management. This intraoperative neurophysiological monitoring is used to evaluate the functional integrity of the nervous system, and it is more useful when clinical assessment is not possible, like under anesthesia or under sedation, and it almost replaces the intraoperative wake-up testing in scoliosis surgery, and not only in intraoperative, it is used also in critical care units. The modalities of monitoring we can broadly classify as a spontaneous one that includes EEG, electrocardiogram and electromyogram, and a triggered one, the motor evoked potential, somatosensory evoked potential, auditory evoked potential, visual evoked potential, and triggered EMG. So, coming to the basics, this will be the central processing unit. A trigger and a stimulator will be given, a stimulation will be given to the patient, and the response will be picked up by the electrodes. It will be amplified and they will be filtered. Filter means there is a low pass filter and high pass filter will be there. All our electrophysiological waveforms in the body, they have a lowest frequency and highest frequency normally. So, we have to select the frequency accordingly. Say for example, if we need only visual evoked potential, we have to set the 1 Hz to 100 Hz. That will filter the other frequencies. So, with the filter, then we have to quantify, and this monitor will once again give the display and storage. So, the analog signal will be converted to the digital signal and it will be displayed and it will be stored. This is the basic neurophysiological monitoring device. And the electrode placement in the scalp, it is based on the 1020 system. I am not going to the detail now. So, every electrodes are placed from the other electrodes in a 20% or 10% distance. This is to maintain uniformity in all monitoring centers. Then we will discuss about the amplitude and latency in the topic. The amplitude is the electrical strength of the waveform, and latency is the delay between the stimulus and the response. And near field potential and far field potential, this describes the distance between the stimulus and the recording electrode. So, when they are very close, it is called near field potential. When it is very far, it is called far field potential. And the pathway of the travel for the signal, we can classify as neural generator or volume conductor. If the stimulus and recording electrode, the pathway is goes through a specific pathway or goes through a ganglions or specific neuronal bundles, they are called neural generator, or if it goes through a common pathway like a spinal cord, it is called volume conductors. And number of synapses also we have to take into consideration for IONM. And there are more number of synapses, they are more affected by anesthetic agents. And we have to think about the cortical or subcortical. We will be discussing about cortical and subcortical stimulation. Cortical has more number of synapses in the cortex. Subcortical is excluding the cortical synapses we are monitoring.